Analysis is just a way to solve problems. And we're going to look at it in regards to conversion factors. Okay, so for example, if you see here, this is a conversion factor. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. We can write that as a fraction one of two ways. We can say 1 inch per 2.54 centimeters or 2.54 centimeters per inch. We're going to use this method of writing it in fraction form to convert between units. So we're going to use it as a conversion factor. Remember, conversion factors are, they're called exact numbers, so they don't count in our significant figure calculation. But let's say, for example, that how we're going to use this is, let's say I have 52.8 centimeters. And I want to know how many inches that is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this conversion. This allows me to convert between inches and centimeters. So I have 52. You're always going to start with what you're given. 52.8 centimeters. And I'm going to multiply it by that conversion factor. Now what's going to go on the bottom is what we want to cancel out. So we're looking for inches, so we want to cancel out the centimeters. So I have 2.54 centimeters and then 1 inch on top. Okay, so the centimeters cancel, multiply across the top, divide by the bottom, and if I do this correctly, I get 20.8 inches. So that would be my answer. Now my answer is also correct to the significant figures because I have 3 significant figures here. I have 3 here. This does not count because it's a conversion factor. So I started with 3, I end with 3. So this is how we're going to use that. Okay, so the important thing is here to remember is you're always going to start with what you're given. And then you want to cancel that unit out to solve for what you're looking for. It may be more than one step, and that's okay. You just have to kind of map it out before you get there. And let me give you an example of that. All right, so it's saying convert 1.7 yards to centimeters. So I need to know what the conversion factors are for yards and centimeters. Well, let's say I give you this. 1 meter equals 1.0936 yards. Okay. And then, so that can help me to go from yards to meters, but it's asking for centimeters. So this is where your metric prefixes come into play. We need to remember, because your metric stuff you're going to have to memorize. That's not going to be given to you. How many centimeters are in a meter? Centi is 100. So there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So we need to realize here that we need to go from yards to meters to centimeters. So we're going to go from yards to meters to centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to set these up as ratios. It's either going to be 1 meter over 1.093 yards or the reverse. And the same true here. Always start with what you're given. So I have 1.76 yards. Okay. And I'm going to multiply it by the ratio that gets rid of the yards, and this is it. So I want to go from yards to meters first. So the yards are going to go down here because I want to cancel them. So I have 1.093 6 yards. and 1 meter on top. So the yards cancel, and I'm left in meters. Although I want to go to centimeters, so I'm going to go one more step here. So here's my conversion for that. So when I put the meter on the bottom, so it cancels out, and then 100 centimeters. So those meters cancel. So I'm going to do 1.76 divided by 1.0936 times 100, and that should give me 160.9 centimeters. But I'm going to round that to 3 significant figures. And why 3? Because there's 3 here. These don't count. So I'm going to say 161 centimeters. Let's do one more. We're going to use the same conversion. So again, I have 1 meter equals 0.93 yards, 936. Sorry about the handwriting. And then we know that 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. Okay, so here we're asked to convert 288 centimeters to yards. So what we know is we got to go from centimeters to meters and then meters to yards. So I have 288 centimeters times, I'm going to put my centimeters on the bottom, my meter on top, so I can cancel those. And then I'm going to multiply to get to yards. So I have 1 meter equals this many yards. So my 1 meter is going to go on the bottom, so those cancel. And 1.0936 yards. Okay. So when I do the math, I get 3.14, excuse me, yeah, that's right, 3.1496 yards. But when I round to significant figures, again, these conversion factors don't count. So I look here, I had 3 significant figures, so I should have 3 in my answer. So it'd be 3.15 yards. And that would be my answer. Okay. Using those same units, just want to give you another example here. If you have to cube things or square things, it says how many cubic centimeters, so that's centimeters cubed, are there in 2.11 yards cubed? Right. So we know how to go from yards to meters. We just did that. Right. So 2.11 yards cubed. We know the conversion from yards to meters is 1.0936 yards and 1 meter. But this is yards cubed. So when we have this, we can still use that ratio, but we're going to have to cube it. Because then it'll be meters cubed, yards cubed. So then the yards cubed will cancel. So then I can still go from meters to centimeters using my same ratio. And to cube it, I'm just going to have to cube it. Okay. So go ahead and do that math. And then you'll just do your math and get your answer. So your answer should be 3 significant figures, and then you'll have 3 significant figures. Okay, so this is how we're going to set up all of our problems moving forward using this dimensional analysis way. For a couple of reasons. It lets me know that you know what you're doing. And so if you make a simple calculation error, you can get most of the credit for every problem. But also it allows you to make less errors. So if you set it this way, you know you're dividing by the right thing, multiplying by the right thing, and you'll make less errors. So I hope that helps. Thank you.